Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Unbelievable Disrespect podcast. But today, we are going to show some respect because my man, Barry Boy Chuckle, died. That's like my childhood, bro.
Yeah, innit, man. Like coming home every day after school, binge watching Chuckle Vision, chatting about it to your mates, you know, doing the whole to me to you.
I'm gutted.
I'm
actually gutted.
I literally saw it this morning. I was like, wait, no, that's not cool. When I was at Southampton Uni, like they used to have like nightclubs where he would come, like the duo would come and visit, and you could just dance with them, and they would meme with you. They would do all like the slangs, the sayings, everything.
Not to me, not to me, not to you, not to me, for fuck's sake, it's you.
And I was on set in London, had the opportunity to go and see him, but I was like, I've got to finish this film, and obviously now it's too late to meet the duo. Sad times.
Peak times. But now let's get into something good. You know, we started on a low, but we've got a spare chair
and a spare coaster.
Oh, going back to the gun. Oh, hello.
Fucking podcast or what?
Get in it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Francesco. Shut the door.
Fuck's sake.
Francesco Tramontano. Woo! More grease in that hair than KFC having their fryers.
Guys, I'm actually scatting out with all of these pots and pans.
Don't worry about it.
Right. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm really good. I've had 2 days in London. I don't know why I said 2 times. It's probably because I'm excited about being with these beautiful guys. Fucking hell, bless you, mate.
Yeah, so it was a bad sneeze.
Yeah, I've had 2 days in London, which was as luxurious as it was freaky.
Yeah. Right, before you get into that, I just introduced, this is our boy Fran. He's one of the top graphic designers man knows. He smashes them out. I message him at like 4 in the morning going, can you do this really quickly? He comes back, so hit him up. Like, I don't know, do you have an Instagram page for your shit yet?
No, I'm sorting all that out.
Do you have a page that we can put at the end of the stream or anything?
No.
Great, yeah, again, someone with nothing planned. That's
No. It's because like, you know, it's I just want to gather more good work.
We'll just put a GoFundMe page at the end, just you know, so you can start up your little page.
Tell you what, we'll put a good page down below because us 3 plus our good mate Jack, we are running.
We're talking about that on another day.
Yeah.
That's a separate video.
Yeah.
Separate video.
Never mind. That's another surprise.
So
right?
let's go back to your story. You said you're in London, something spooky, and you're in a hotel, some shit like that. Carry on.
Okay. Obviously, I wasn't in some fucking haunted mansion or some weird stuff, but basically, no. We decided to have a couple good nice days in London, and we stayed at this place called the Curtain Hotel. Lovely place. It's got a nice sunroof with a pool, a bar. It's, you know, you can't ask for more than that.
It's the one in Shoreditch, isn't it?
Yes, it is. However, I have been running as much as I've been relaxing. And what I mean by that is not jogging and shit like that in the morning. What I mean by that, I've done an escape room the first day, and the second day, I'm not sure. I mean, some people I'm sure they've heard of it. It's called the London Tombs Experience, right? Like, it's not the London Dungeon, right? I've done that as well, to be fair. Like, not recently, but this is what I've done, the London Tomb Experience, and it was fucking haunting, man. Really,
so explain to the fans what the escape room is, because not everyone knows what an escape room is.
Basically, the escape room is a place, for those that don't know, where you go inside this room and they lock you in, and you've got to solve enigmas and puzzles and put clues together.
Well, that was very close, bro. Be careful with that word.
Yeah.
What?
Don't want to see those hands flying, man.
Yo, you don't want to catch these hands, bro.
And yeah, we managed to escape within like 50 minutes.
You have about an hour time limit, don't you? Every place
Something
differs.
like that, yeah. Well, basically, what I was doing there, I was just sitting there like, right, guys, sort it out. Fucking, I want to get out of here. It's hot. I want to go for a fag or something. But no, it was pretty good. It was multi-room as well. You're not just stuck in the same room. You have to access other rooms before you can actually ultimately get yourself out. Pretty much.
So it's a lie. It's escape
the rooms. Yeah. But what was interesting about it is that it was Maze Runner.
Yeah.
It was Maze Runner themed.
Oh yeah.
And it's a film I despise, by the way. And I couldn't. And because of that, when I heard it was Maze Runner themed, I was like, I'm in no way or near shape or form. I'm not going to enjoy this. I'm going to fucking hate it, and I want to get out as soon as I can. Right. turned up. I enjoyed it actually.
Well, it's because if it's themed, they don't obviously bring in the shit parts, they bring in the good parts of the film, or at least the idea.
Yeah, we had to find like, you know, medical records and stuff, and there was like little clues in them, and we had to like put rocks in nice shapes.
Did you have to use like Morse code and shit like that? Because I had one where I had to do that before.
The closest thing I can think to Morse code is this thing where we had to find like we had to scan barcodes and that to the wall, and I think that the noises from it had some sort of clue, and we had to find like passes and stuff around because it's got something to do with the maze running. You know, there's like maze passes or whatever, that shit. Yeah, it was interesting, but nowhere near as interesting as the tombs, man. That was something else. So basically, how it goes is divided in two bits. The first bit is like the most historical bit about, you know, London Bridge and all of the tragedies of London. You know, fires, Jack the Ripper.
Is this one at Waterloo? Or is this...
It's in London Bridge.
London Bridge, oh, of course
Yeah.
it is.
And the one in Waterloo... No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know there's a new London Dungeon located in Westminster. Now they moved it because also the London Dungeon was literally next door too. Now, I'm not sure what's the reasoning behind this move, but again, it's the second bit I was interested in, because that's the bit where, you know, they give you loads of warning, like, oh, if you want to get out now, you know, show yourself out, there's the door. And, you know, people with like claustrophobia, you know, high pressure, anxiety, all of that stuff, you know, you should not be going in here. And that, I think that obviously is health and safety, and that's why they do it, but the main reason they should also do it is obviously like kind of like psychologically freak you the fuck out, yeah.
Or you could just not be a pussy.
So
just get on with
Unbelievable disrespect.
the first ever guest to say it on our show.
Unbelievable.
He's gone so
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
We've got past 12 now, so the max views we've got is about 70.
So basically what happens, right? So
he's still going on this story. Okay, let's keep going.
So basically what happens
Does
is
this
that...
have an ending, by the way? Because most of your stories don't.
It's like you were saying. You ever go to people's houses and they talk and then they say shit for 20 minutes?
It does have an ending.
Okay, alright. We'll follow through with this.
Right. So, what happened is that they instruct you to hold each other's shoulders and go in a file, go in a line, and to never let go. And they said, you know, there will be actors, you know, they're not going to touch you unless you touch them, that kind of stuff, right? But the problem is that I was not in the middle protected by human shields, or I was at the back. And my one thought, because there's like loads of stuff to look at, it's like really well recreated, but I couldn't look at anything because one thing in my head was, somebody's going to fuck you up from behind. And it's inevitable. So I was just like, every 20 seconds like turning around. And at one point I started, none of it was like that scary until I start hearing this rustling roar, like, which only after like 10 seconds of processing that sound with my scared head, I was like, that's a fucking chainsaw, man. That's an engine.
That's definitely a chainsaw.
Like that, yeah. And there was nothing behind me and that, and at one point, you hear it really loudly behind you, and I turn around and there's this guy walking towards me with a chainsaw, like absolutely buzzing, and it was a real chainsaw, obviously no actual bladed chains on the mechanism, but still a fucking guy with a chainsaw behind you, man. And I had my girlfriend, shout out Mims, in front of me, and I was just kind of like pushing her like to like go forward, like fucking run, and then I was kind of like turning her like, I might need a human shield type thing.
Showing again, the Italians, what they do.
Got a meat shield.
Unbelievable.
Bouncing off of that,
Disrespect.
there's one escape room that has stood out to me from the rest that I've done. I've done a whole 3, big up.
Yeah.
And it's one in Hastings. It went down for my brother's birthday. And it's this guy that does... You basically have to sign release forms because he pushes the boundaries further. So the ones in London are quite tame and horror themed.
It's the only one I've ever done, mate, so I'll take your word for it, yeah.
He basically... It was fucking cheap as well. So you got the average one, which is about 15-20 quid, and then you've got the extreme one, which is what I really want us to do. Although... I might tell you everything that happens now and then I'll speak to him and change it, because that's what he does. If you do the extreme one person in the group tells this guy everyone's fears, and he'll incorporate that into that escape room. He brings in actors, you sign a release form, meaning you can get touched by these actors. You won't get hurt, but they will touch you. Yeah. And what it happens, you basically... get thrown in the back of this van by military guys. You get bin bags, shit, or whatever, I forgot what you call potato bag things put on your head.
Balaclavas? No, balaclavas.
They're balaclava. They're all like military type people, and they throw you in the back of a van and they drive around, swerving around the place.
It's like SAS Who Dares Wins, isn't it?
Yeah. And then one person, when you pull up, they put you in a coffin, lower you down 7 feet into this hole, and they start putting mud on top of it.
We need to go and do it.
It gets worse. So that one person is basically set from the beginning. You have to escape from this main room, get through an entire house, save your friend, and then there's a few other things where I'll get to in a sec. So you go in this main room, you're all tied up to a wall, and for the average version, you just have horror sounds. But the extreme version, he literally puts like fake urinals with fake piss or like all this stuff that adds smells and just really fuck you in every sense. He has like surround sound speakers. He watches for a webcam to put like different triggers of different things. He's such a funny guy, but he's like so crazy at the same time. It's sick. So you have a really short amount of time to break out of this. Otherwise, a guy with a chainsaw comes in, and it's the same thing which you're saying. But if you're tied to a wall, you're fucked. He'll come over and you lose. But what happens is that when you break through that room, you go into a smaller room, you eventually get out of that room, and once you're at this point, that's when all the other fears start coming in. They have animal wranglers to bring in tarantulas, snakes.
Fuck.
So you have to imagine crawling through a hole about yay big with a tarantula just out of reach, or a snake nearby. They won't hurt you, or they won't come near you.
I mean, Simon, you are my good friend, right? But I'm not sure if Sam told you. I don't give a fuck about snakes, right? I don't mind snakes at all. Constrictors, boas, give me all that. But spiders...
I fucking hate them too.
I fucking hate spiders, right? Anybody that knows me well, they'll know that.
I didn't know that.
Fuck off, you didn't know that. Bollocks. I always literally rant about how much I hate the 8-legged freaks that they are.
So just imagine yourself crawling through a tunnel, being chased by a man with a chainsaw, trying to escape from a tarantula to try and break into this room.
Actual tarantulas?
Yeah, they bring animal wranglers, and it's something that you do late at night. You start at like 10 o'clock at night, and it goes until midnight.
And how much do you pay for this?
Yeah, you pay for it.
How much do you pay for this? How
like
much?
25 quid each.
Why do people...
Yeah, it's cheap.
Why do people want...
It's the thrill.
What thrill? What?
Well, it's like
I
watch horror films because it gives me a thrill, even though I don't necessarily believe in it.
I think that what we're going back to is what you mentioned in one of the previous podcasts about the Dark Tourist. Why do people do it? It's because some people are just thrilled by the idea of doing something that they yet in life haven't experienced.
No, but yeah, true. But I don't know. It's just because you're not in control of it. You're in control of nothing. See, that's the thing. When I'm in control of something, I'll do it. It's fine. But nah, fuck that. You'd have to pay me you'd have to pay me handsomely.
So what I've done,
I'd love to film him doing that.
Yeah. We get GoPros, everything. So it does get worse. So once you get past all the animal wranglers thing, it then becomes a time game where you've got more actors coming in to try and kill you in the game speak, and there is a gun at some point, like a BB gun type thing, where you can then eventually kill them. But then you've also got to somehow get your mate out of a coffin. And this mate, all they see, without realising, on the coffin there's a screen.
Right.
And it basically plays this sort of thing where you have speakers within the coffin or just outside, sounds of you being buried alive.
Right.
And what the guy said, because it's so scary, it's very common for people to piss themselves, and a couple of times people have literally shat themselves, literally pooed themselves, because it's that scary.
Right, so we're definitely not doing that.
And this is where I'm a great friend, because I almost got you into doing it one time without you realising.
When?
I said about, we should go down to Hastings.
Yeah, and I said there's no chance in hell that you said, it's so bad, it's like, I'm not going to do that.
It reminds me of a bit of a collab theatre. Which, because it's immersive theatre, but basically I'm just going off what I heard, and obviously I've done my own research into it, but the research is not obviously as good as hearing like first-hand witnesses to this. So Sam and I, when we were studying drama in
bleep that. Fuck's sake.
We had our drama coach Samir, a good friend of ours. He was telling us about like immersive theatre, which back then I never fucking even heard of immersive theatre. I just thought that theatre as far as it goes is just a stage and an audience and all of that. Not that immersive theatre was something really new. But he was saying that he didn't even receive like a location for where the place is, nothing, and
This
literally
is
like,
secret cinema, isn't it?
No. It's sort of that, but it's theatre.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he received a text message on the day. They were just told to meet at the station. I can't remember which one. They did not idea, and then they received a text message to go to a specific part of the station. Once they were there, one of the we're filming.
I was like, what?
Once he was there at this place, one of the payphones rang. So they answer the payphone, then they're given another location to go. And I think it was it a spy one, this one, or criminals?
There was the spy ones, and he received an email saying, "Welcome, agent.
Yeah, like, it's
Your
all
next
this
rendezvous point will be at," and they give him like
That's
numbers
so
and
sick.
shit like that.
And it goes on, and then I think in the end, like, they ended up in some warehouse with smoke grenades and loads of stuff like that. But it's
That's
all
so
like
sick.
actors and stuff like that.
That
And it's-
literally sounds identical to secret cinema in that
it's-
they're very along the same lines. Because
Yeah.
I've done a secret cinema. I'll get onto that in a minute, but that sounds sick.
Yeah,
That theatre is sick, mate.
they do lots of different ones. I'll have to look up. I can't remember what company.
There was the
it
one called Crooks, where you're like in the craze,
Yeah.
craze firm back in the '60s, and that they've done some. I'm not sure what others have done, but I'm sure that they change themes and that. But it's not so much the themes; they actually construct a genuine narrative as if it was a play. There's a script, and obviously, when you've got immersive theatre, what I imagine is their objective is to calculate all of the different variables which could lead to another story and stuff like that. Like, because obviously, when somebody's stranded in London and some random man comes at them with a plastic bag and they look into it, it's a fucking 9mm. Obviously, that variable could react to all sorts of different things. So it's actually like, it's more planning than we think there is. It's not like you're not guided for a fucking tunnel. Like, there's variables.
I was talking to him as well about, because he did some in Brighton and how they rehearse it, and it's just all character rehearsals the whole time. Like, you get a really rough thing, but it's just
How you
a
bounce
couple
off of it,
weeks
yeah.
of just becoming that character fully, and it's like you hear about these like method actors who are always in character. It just seems exhausting.
Oh, I know, man.
Like, just relax, bro. But I guess
You're
it
into
is-
your method acting though a lot.
No, not really.
You
A
used
little
to be.
bit.
You
I
used
do-
to be. You used to be.
Yeah.
Did in my time
Hey.
on that Instagram fucking thing I did. That's such a meme.
What? What's the secret cinema thing then?
So, secret cinema, I never heard of it before until sort of a couple of years back.
Fucking better than fake taxi, innit? Imagine that.
What?
What? How's that related?
I don't know. I thought secret cinema, fake taxi,
It's just trying
same
to be
thing.
Oh,
Um, so you never heard of it.
Press
How
up
did
for
you?
respect.
How did you get into it?
So my cousin's an actress, and she knows a lot of actors that are brought in for secret cinema, and she's like, "Come along with your friends. I've got 4 free tickets." I didn't realise how expensive it was. It's anywhere from 100 to 400 quid.
For my ticket,
I'd asked you at the time, and you weren't free.
bro.
I asked you at the time, and you weren't free.
Always blame others, eh?
Carry on.
I already asked you at the time, and you weren't free.
That's fine, mate. Just say what you want, bro. But I know the truth, bro.
You don't even remember
Keep
me
going.
asking.
Finish story.
I'm just
You
stuck in
finish
between
it.
this. That's the thing. Help me.
Finish.
Unbelievable.
Come on.
Right. Anyway, I asked a load of people, yourself included, and only one person
What's
was
my
free.
invite?
We weren't mates at the time.
Fair.
Right, carry on.
And anyway, tickets are fucking ridiculous price, and all we knew until the day was to meet at Canada Water. And when, like, I think it was 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon that time, it was released whereabouts you had to meet. It was about sort of like 10-15 minute walk from the station, and it was 28 Days Later themed, and you had to dress in like a Scrubs outfit, doctor's outfit. I'll insert a picture of myself. It's a very fucking hilarious one. In a Scrubs outfit, and you queue up, and you just basically you taken into like something that's designed into like
Why
a
the
military
Scrubs
base.
outfit? Just asking. Sorry.
That doctor's outfit.
Yeah,
All right.
because it's all part of the whole theme, part of the characters, everything, the journey you go on. And you have literally people dressed up in military gear that are actors, but they like play it off so fucking well. And because I was like, you know, not batting an eyelid, they would fucking mug me right off in front of everyone. They brought me up.
It's not hard.
Shut up.
Would basically like discipline you or like shout at you such a twat in front of everyone, and it was hilarious. So eventually you go in, they give you a few free shots of like vodka to sort of ease you up. because of like people getting surprised. You have like flashing lights, screaming, whatever.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
And you basically get taken through the story of the film, and you go through different layers, and you get chased by actors, chased by zombies, and everything has a different narrative, different story, whatever. And it was so sick because you build up for it. I don't want to say too much because of the film, but at the same time, everyone's sort of seen it. You literally live the journey of the character in the film, but they add spins.
Do you watch the film?
At the end.
At the end?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's like the differences, I guess.
And they took a little spin on it where it was like it was leading up to the major outbreak, and you get put into like this little dungeon almost, and then randomly the lights power out, smoke gets fired through, red lights come beaming in, and zombies, about 100 actors will come pouring in from the sides.
What the fuck?
And they'll come chasing at you. And it was like, I mean, some parts weren't great because it was the first year they ever done 28 Days Later, but that ending bit was sick.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, you basically lie down on this bed, and you have like 4 people to a monitor, and the monitor's like 50-inch TV, and you would lie down on the bed watching it, 2 sort of beds and stuff, get alcohol, whatever, and then you have actors going around recreating the entire film just around you. So it's something that I'd say, if by chance get another few free tickets, we'll all go.
Yeah, definitely. And also, if anyone does go to one of these, I remember the person we know who went there actually telling me, they say to go in like specific clothing, just go in it, because there was a woman who turned up in a full like night frock, high heels, and they were having to run and crawl on their knees through like warehouses.
You know,
just wear what they say.
You just reminded me of what we were talking the other day on the microphones. We were saying that playing Fortnite,
again. Third reference in 2 podcasts.
Right. So no, we were talking about this the other day, and again, I've actually looked into it. And I'm fucking annoyed because they don't do it anymore. It's this thing we were discussing the other day where they give you guns and that, they dress you like a SWAT team operator or something, and they literally put you through this dungeon for the whole day where you've got to like shoot at like actors as zombies and that, and apparently you actually shoot blanks, like real laser ammo, and they've got like a little, well, I don't know how they know they're dead, but I mean if somebody points a gun at you and pulls the trigger, you just fall.
It's literally like you have like 4 hours to survive like a zombie apocalypse, and you're in a small group. My mate Tyler did it. And you have walking zombies, you have running zombies, and it literally is just actors.
See,
so
that seems fun because again,
you got a gun.
You're semi in control of the situation. My voice. You're semi in control.
Your voice dropping, Sam.
But I woke up every day. Oh shit.
You're semi in control.
Oh yeah, big boy.
We'll blur all that out.
You're semi in control of the situation.
You semi right now. Your voice dropping.
Whereas when you're like when you're going to one of those rooms where they tie you up and pretend you're in you're completely not.
But that's why people do it, because it's such a it is all about how you deal with it.
People are just weird, bro.
I think that was what the difference is between a good experience and a bad experience. It's not so much the special effects. What it is how much you allow people to interact with the object or whatever. Like if it was an experience where you've got a laser gun, even if the set looks beautiful and the makeup, if I can't do fuck all with it, it's shit. Whereas even if I'm in a bit of a huge place and I can do anything, literally, there's zombies coming, I can shut a door, I can literally pick up a chair and jam the door in. Even if the makeup wasn't convincing, even if the place is some barracks made out of wood, it's more fun because it's more hands-on. I think that when people create a product, it's the same problem I have with video games these days. They focus on the graphics, and there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, everything should have an equal amount of quality, and the graphics are no... And the same goes to film, how the quality of the shots and that, but it's how much user interactivity you have with these things. Like, you can have the most beautiful game ever created, and if it's not interactive, it's crap.
So it's a lot of the narrative. We were chatting the other day on a podcast that won't be released, because it wasn't very good, but we're talking about...
None of them are good.
yeah, they were trash. But there were some snippets that were good, and I'm going to highlight one now. We're talking about like swords and sandals, like time period, like Roman dramas.
Yeah.
And why it's more of a niche now. There's not much of it. And I was basically saying from all the films that I've seen, and I'm pretty sure you said the same thing, is that they were all focusing on like, look, we've got a beautiful set, it's shot well, we've got really good cameras, good lenses, we've got anamorphics, everything, whatever, but the narrative is always wank. And it's one of those things you have a few really bloody good ones. Like I really love Gladiator, as cliche as that is, I fucking love it.
No, it's a great film, it's a great film, The Gladiator.
But it's like, I would love to one day create a Roman period drama that is very much narrative driven.
Have you watched Rome? I think it was done by no, bollocks, not the BBC. It was done by HBO. Series.
I've watched a couple episodes. Yeah,
it's pretty good, man. Have you watched Rome?
No.
Check it out, man. My mum loves it. She recommended it to me because we watched because my mum introduced me. My mum and my stepdad Martin, they introduced me to Band of Brothers. That's the first HBO show I've ever watched, and then after that I started like watching everything HBO, and eventually I got into Game of Thrones. But even if you're not a fan of HBO, you're still gonna watch Game of Thrones. Apart from
talking of gladiators, before he just kept talking, we have some news. It's official. The Notorious is back, baby! 6th of October, baby! Let's go!
I was wondering when you were going to bring it up. He was like before
He just keeps
this.
going. He just keeps talking. This is the thing. Every time we chat, on the other day, Frank came around. We were meant to do some work on a film, and it took about 3 hours before I could even mention.
This absolute
round-headed
wanker. Guess what he did? He stole my car keys and was like, "Oh, friend."
Yeah, tell me about that.
Friend, this is challenges like playing this fucking Simon Says game with me. Ooh,
don't bring me into this, bitch.
Yeah. But anyway, what are we thinking, man? I'm so excited.
I'm very excited. To be fair,
we gotta figure something out.
So the previous one, I can't remember if we mentioned. I think we touched on it briefly.
Yeah, we said it.
Did you watch last night, by the way? I didn't ask you in the end.
No, I didn't. I was trying to sleep but didn't sleep.
For those that don't know, yesterday UFC 227 was on. A great bloody event. Congratulations to TJ Dillashaw. By the way. It's almost
he just takes over. You know, fuck it, I'm out. You know what? You just take over this shit. But nah,
ladies and gentlemen.
Now you know how it feels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut Sam's face and put it on your face.
Man.
I'm literally going to put his face on yours.
Pretty much. Fuck me.
Fuck's sake, but
Going back to Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
The previous one, we all dressed up in suits, watched the night. You may have heard it before, but we were going to do something again. For this one, it was in, is it September? It's coming
October.
on? October.
6th of
October 6th.
That's sick.
What's your predictions, lads? I didn't even ask you. We never even.
He's going to fucking headbutt him to victory. That's what he's going to do.
There's no headbutts in MMA, mate.
That's a joke.
Oh, okay.
We don't understand. She's not British.
Well, to be fair, I thought he was just going to get some barriers and throw them at him in the octagon.
I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it. It's good. It's good that he's back. It gives us more content to make.
Yeah. I just hope with the time off, it kind of hasn't made him a bit rusty.
I was just about to mention that. Yeah.
That's what I'm most worried about because obviously he's a machine. They both are fucking machine. But it's just
Khabib's
Russian. That's the problem, mate.
Dude.
He looks like a pubescent 13-year-old with the strength of fucking Hulk.
What, Khabib?
Yeah.
Nah, he's just the kind of guy that if I saw him in a pub and I made eye contact with him, I'd just shit myself on the instant. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Toilet paper and that, you know. The thing is though, like, I'm worried for Conor because the reason I'm worried for Conor is because the man's been out for a long time. Whereas Khabib has been training. You know, he's been training hard as well. And, you know, there's a lot of vlogs of him training. And the thing is, like, you know, Conor, bear in mind, he's a striker, he's a very good grappler. But the problem is that he's faced people into their jiu-jitsu, such as Nate. He's faced incredible strikers, incredible wrestlers, but he's never faced somebody that does Sambo. And Sambo, people underestimate how fucking lethal of a grappling art it is.
I mean, he's undefeated, isn't he? Or some shit like that.
Yeah,
he's
undefeated, yeah. I'm scared, honestly.
I think it's the mental thing I'm worried about a little bit of Conor as well, because the last fight he had wasn't out. Obviously, that was with Mayweather. That was out of his sort of comfort zone, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just more of the fact of he was unstoppable for a long time, and I just think him being out of the game, I hope it sort of hasn't.
No, because he got beat by Diaz and then came straight back after.
No, but what I'm saying though is that because he's been out of the game for a long time, I hope that's not taking a toll on his like mental sort of thing of like I can do this.
Mate, shut the fuck up and get away from me. You're in.
I don't think anything will take a toll on that.
And that's
fair enough.
The reason I'm not worried about his mental strength is because when Conor beat Aldo, he then had the invincibility syndrome, you know, the god complex, where, I mean, to be fair, as weird as this sounds from me, like, Conor is surprisingly down to earth on some things. If you listen to some interviews when he says that you should be humble in victory and defeat, all that, but that's not a point.
Yeah, but
the point
that's
is,
like a script.
after being, arguable, you know, I'm not gonna delve into that, but
yeah, we'll delve into that.
But after being beat by Nate, he really had an ego strip. his ego got stripped big time, as much as people don't realise it. And he came back and won. And after that, I think that the biggest lesson for Conor was that, you know, he learned that he can be defeated, and that sometimes you just need to keep going, to be fair, because he didn't have that. He genuinely thought like he was the most invincible man in the UFC. You know, he genuinely thought that. He knows the stakes now. He knows that his cardio is not as good as many thought it was, or himself thought. You know, but I don't think it will be a problem, because after beating
It's
Diaz,
just more of how much training he's able to put in.
Yeah,
because it is very soon.
At this point, my real question is the trilogy with Nate Diaz ever going to happen?
It probably will.
Sam,
If he beats him, if he beats fucking hell, name slipped my head. If he wins
Khabib.
if he beats Khabib, then I think he'll be like, I'm above it. That's what will come across me. But if he loses, then Nate will be like, let's go, bitch.
But Nate is not happy, man. He's not. Apparently now he's saying he's not fighting because is it because I'm not informed, but is it because he's back, Conor? And he's like, nah, after what he's done, he shouldn't be out.
So he stormed out after the reveal, the trailer came up at the press conference. I don't know. He'll probably fight, but it'll be fun. Whatever happens, there's some good fights coming up. We've got Darren Till, as I said last time, fighting for the title. That's in like 4 weeks. So hopefully we can do something for that as well, because you got to support the Brits, you know.
Yeah.
Over there, taking belts, taking paychecks. We do what we want. We're taking over America again.
KSI is gonna fuck up Logan Paul.
I don't give two shits.
He does.
I'm not
do.
paying
My man.
for that.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is the
has been-
stingiest man who won't put £2 in watching the stream.
Nah, to be fair, he's got work. To be fair, I'll give him that.
Ladies and
But if he
gentlemen,
didn't, he wouldn't. He's already told me this.
ladies and gentlemen, this has been the the Simon and Francesco podcast. Thank you all for watching.
Thanks for joining us, Sam. It was great
Yeah,
seeing
that's
you
no
today.
problem.
See you, mate.
Yeah.
That's no worries, mate. Have a good one. Oh no, I can't put you on the ground.
Oh, am I on? I'll be in this podcast later on. You just can't see me. I just wanted to do that for
What-
no fucking reason
what the
whatsoever.